Hello everyone, this is Ashik, President, Institute of Facility Management, Sri Lanka. I hope every one of you are safe and keeping well. A special mention to healthcare staff and essential service employees who are putting a valiant effort to keep us safe and ensure country's economy is running. And it is with great pleasure to meet you all on this special occasion where, as FM practitioner like you and me, are celebrating World FM Day in a new normal circumstances. Here I would like to share a few areas, share some valuable thoughts under three main segments. The first one is where ongoing challenges FM practitioners organization is facing where they need to run their business during this lockdown situation. And second one, I would like to share some tips where organization has not opened up or facilities not opened up, but they are planning to open in near future. So what sort of precautions they should do. The third one is future FM outlook and the positivity. What sort of positives that we can extract from this new normal circumstances in terms of facility management operation. So let's look at it. Our first one, that is the pre-occupancy stage, where what sort of FM tips you can adhere before you are reopening the facilities to your entire staff. It's important that you immediately visit along with your FM team to do a complete inspection within your facility, go around and see what are the areas you need to work on. So mainly the health checks in electrical system is very important. You can do a thorough check and check whether your electrical systems are functioning very well. Then you can do a fire alarm test and check whether your evacuation or your life safety system is in place. Then the important aspect is your air conditioning system. Run your ACs if it's not running previously, it's been switched off, and check whether it's run efficiently. And air quality check is very important. You can do an air quality check and see where your areas are lacking, and then you can optimize your fresh air and do a complete flushing. And do a plumbing system, complete check whether any leakages, check your water level, sump level. And the important aspect is you haven't been able to utilize the water features and shower heads and all, there could be a possibility of Legionella risk. So it's important you flush or you run the water about at least 2 to 3 minutes or maximum 5 minutes, and then do a chlorination of your shower heads and shower taps. That's very important to eliminate Legionella. And another area is your PPM, the planned preventive maintenance. It's very important to check whether there's any due maintenance or overdue. So plan these things. If you want to invite your contractors, this is the right time to do before you get your full occupancy or maybe 50-50 occupancy. Check your refrigerators, your pantry areas. If there are any food leftovers, it's important to clean your fridge and then make sure it's hygiene and safe for reuse. And it's important check your expiry date of your consumables, check your water dispensers, and make sure you thoroughly clean it. And look for pest issues and go through every corner and see if there's any movement of the pest, and invite your pest vendor to do a thorough fumigation. And it's important your housekeeping team, get your team in, do a deep clean, and especially with the social distancing in your mind, and do a thorough deep cleaning. And the gardening aspect of it, make sure everything is clean, and the waste disposal, your waste management aspect, everything you make sure it's well covered. First step I have already covered, and now we'll move on to the second segment, which is the post-occupancy stage, where already organization is running and some staffs coming in to do their day-to-day jobs. Okay, so first important aspect is your roster. Make sure your roster is properly planned, and where if employees can work remotely or working from home, encourage them to work without impacting your business operation. Then it will reduce your demand. Then it's easy to plan your supply with limited resources. So make sure 50-50 roster in place. Go and check every aspect in terms of social distancing, whether workstation, layout, whether if you get this much of people or certain amount of people in each department, whether you can maintain your social distancing. So do the redesigning if required. And the meeting requirements, it's better to avoid, because virtually we have a lot of options available, so you can do virtual meetings. But having said that, working from home is not easy. because each person having a different commitments. Some people having a household requirement, responsibility, some people having a parenting requirement. So as a team leader, it's important to check their well-being aspect, and their health check is very important, how they're perceiving with the working from home. Another important aspect is people are talking about wearing masks, checking temperature, and the full body sanitizing, or maybe full part sanitization. So there are different techniques, different measurement tools these days people are talking about. That's really good. I'm not denying it, but the important aspect is the personal hygiene and personal safety. People should make sure they are well aware of their personal hygiene. It's important that organization keep reminding them the personal hygiene practice and social distancing aspect. And if someone is not well, they should immediately inform their line manager that I'm not well and I will not be able to report to work. So that's really important, rather than checking and identifying. And also, if you have a transport service or if you provide transport to the staff, make sure that you sanitize your vehicles frequently. And also, your housekeeping team is one of playing a huge pivotal role here. And make sure you have a special cleaning arrangement in place to sanitize the frequent touch points like lift buttons, door handles, knobs. And if you have a hot desking arrangement, make sure these days if you can avoid this. But if you can't, then it's always important that you sanitize those workstations after every use. And also, you can have every aspect of emergency preparedness, but unless you have a proper monitoring team or special response team, this will not take place. So make sure you establish an emergency response team, or at least a SPOC, single point of contact, where he or she can monitor the progress of effectiveness of this implementation. So the final one, that is the third segment, which is the FM, future outlook, and seeing the positivity within these difficult circumstances. So one of the main positivity I just want to highlight here is, as FM practitioners, I'm sure you also would have experienced this, implementing health and safety aspect within our organization culture is sometimes very difficult. So convincing factor is very difficult. So sustaining also very difficult. So this is a real opportunity for us, where people have realized the importance of health and safety. So if you have to do any risk assessment, if you are certain aspects being pending in terms of the procedures or implementation, this is the right time to implement it and showcase the importance of health and safety. So your organization or your objective will be 100% HNS compliant. And another second important aspect is, people might be really worried. Okay, now with implementation of health and safety, COVID-19 or emergency response, it's really costly, where we couldn't even open up our business. So people, or maybe senior management, might be really struggling or maybe really worried. So how we can spend this money? So here is the tips for you. Now just imagine these days your organization lockdown, or probably they are in 50-50 roster. So your major chunk of your FM expenditure is spent on your utilities, electricity, water, gas, whatever it is. So that is some saved now. And also your housekeeping consumables, any other consumables where it varies based on the occupation, that also saved these days. So make sure you calculate this and do a profiling and trending and showcase this to the management that you are saving from here, so you're utilizing this money to these aspects. So there's nothing you are extra spending, maybe you're saving. So that's another area that you can easily this is the last point, the important positivity you can extract, where early days, where as a FM practitioner, if you go to a senior management level meeting, you would have finding it difficult to convince management about certain decisions. But with this emergency situation and pandemic, created the importance of non-core businesses, especially now senior management willing to hear FM practitioners' voice. You can highlight a lot of projects. If it's pending where it derive value for money, you can easily showcase this and show that non-core services also can contribute to the business in a huge way. Okay, that's it from me. I hope you got some idea about how as a FM practitioner can overcome these future and ongoing challenges. And if you have any questions, comments, please write to us, secretary@ifmsl.lk, and we are more than happy to hear your views. Until see you next time, And thank you very much for listening. I'm wishing you a World FM Day and stay safe. Thank you.